For many architects and interior designers, the biggest drain on time isn't creativity, it's software. Every week, hours disappear into clunky workflows, endless file handling, and tools that interrupt your flow rather than support it. If you've ever lost half a day exporting drawings, hunting down usable DWG blocks, or trying to keep plans, presentations, and spec sheets aligned, you already know the cost of legacy CAD. In this video, we'll break down the top 5 Rayon workflows that will save you hours compared to AutoCAD. If this doesn't make you want to swap tools, I don't know what will. Check the link in the description to create your free Rayon account and use Rayon's templates. Let me know in the comments if this made you want to swap or not, and why. Now, let's get started. AutoCAD may be powerful, but its rigid, outdated structure no longer matches how modern designers actually work. Overwhelming complexity. Too many commands, layers, and settings turn simple tasks into a mental overhead that slows down even the most experienced user. Disconnected tools and workflows. Designing in AutoCAD while presenting and styling elsewhere creates friction, wasted time, and unnecessary software costs. Outdated collaboration model. File-based sharing, exports, and version confusion make real-time collaboration nearly impossible. High costs and low flexibility. Rising subscription fees and rigid licensing make AutoCAD expensive, inflexible, and hard to scale with your team. Now, imagine a CAD tool designed around how people actually work today. That's where Rayon Design comes in. Rayon is the new-gen, web-based, 2D, all-in-one design platform built for interior designers and architects and anyone who works with spatial layouts, drawings, and documentation. From early concepts to detailed drawings, spec sheets, presentations, and mood boards, everything lives in this one environment. No jumping between tools, no broken workflows. Rayon is fully collaborative. You and your team can work together live, see updates instantly, and share projects through simple links. And up next, we'll walk through the top 5 reasons professionals are leaving AutoCAD for Rayon, and how making the switch is helping teams work faster, design better, and finally leave legacy frustrations behind. Okay, so what makes Rayon different? Beyond being agile and user-friendly, it's a one-stop shop for the entire journey from concept to completion. Here are the top 5 reasons that Rayon will elevate your workflow. Number 1, an all-in-one workflow. Design, document, and present without switching tools. Traditional CAD allows drafting only, forcing you to switch software for ideation, styling, and client presentation. Rayon brings your entire workflow together, from precise drawings to polished, client-ready visuals, all in one place. Seamlessly import and export DWG, DXF, PDF, and image files, then redraw, edit, and refine without any friction. Combine technical accuracy with visual polish by customizing colors, textures, line weights, and typography directly in Rayon, no extra design tools required. And share your work instantly with a single presentation link that's always up to date so clients can view it anytime without manual exports. Okay, so this is our template. This is our one-off house that contains floor plans, elevations. We have our sort of design system. We have a variety of sort of millwork drawings. So I want to show you, firstly, these drawings are actually based on DWGs. So the DWG is brought in to Rayon. So we have a import button. We can import PDFs, DWGs. They can obviously come into scale. And then we have a layer system which will allow you to retain your existing DWG layers and then use the Rayon tools to either style those layers or draw over them in using the Rayon wall tools, zone tools. So I'll just show you that quickly. So all of our walls are editable. They're based on styles. So styles is a big thing within Rayon. And you can see here an exterior wall. I can go into this style. I could edit this style and say, actually, I want to change the thickness, and you'll notice there all of those elements which are pasted with that style will be changing. So you can see that there. Similarly with fills, so these are pattern styles. So again, we have a style here. I can go in, I can edit that style, and I can change that to a solid, a gradient, a texture, or a hatch. So I could go in, I could change that to a hatch. And again, anything pasted with that style will update. To draw a wall, we have the wall tool down here. Again, I can set my thickness, I can set that as a meter, or I can change my units to millimeters. So you can see here, I have my wall styles. Again, I can change the thicknesses, and I can also add something called a zone. So a zone will read the inside of those walls. It will create a fill, and it will tell you the area. So that's reading those 4 points. I can also name that zone, and I can assign a color or a hatch to that fill, and I can also change the style of the text. So just like you do with the walls and the zones, the texts have a style as well. So I can change the size, I can change the color, I can change the font, and I can save that style as well. So all very simple, pretty similar to what you're probably used to with AutoCAD, but the main point is that we're reflecting back styles. We can also use layers. So here we have our layer tool. So all of our different elements sit on different layers. So our furniture, we have our zones, we have our walls, and anything that's been imported will sit on an import layer. So that's where your DWG files will sit, and they'll be embedded within those layers. And then within the floor plan, you can see these elements, which are our blocks. Now, I'll cover blocks a bit more in detail later, but in essence, we have our block library on the left-hand side. This contains all of our furniture elements, all the sort of features, things like the kitchens, even people, things like that. And they have front, side, and top views, so they're relevant for plan, section, elevation, and they all sit within the drawings, and I can move them about as I see fit. They again have a style, so I can go into this definition and I can look at the line style and the fill style, and I can change all of those as well. Alongside the wall types, we can introduce things like openings. So openings will be things like doors and windows. So these will be placed within a wall, and you can see there it automatically cuts an opening, and that can be things for walls. That can be things like windows and doors. You can see here we have a library of different windows and doors that we can use, and these can be adjusted as you see fit as well. We also have sort of the drawing tools, so line types, polylines, circles, arcs, all these sort of traditional drawing tools. We have a series of annotations, and any annotation can be reflected in a style. So again, this annotation will have its own style. I can go in, I can edit that, I can change the different elements, and any annotation that's swatched with that style will update. And then we have our traditional editing tools like you're used to with AutoCAD. So, offset, fillet, mirror, chamfer, even bucket tool that you can use to fill. They're all here as well. And lastly, I just want to show you that we can change how we view Rayon. So if we go to preferences, I can turn on a wireframe view. So that's something you're probably more used to seeing in AutoCAD. So we have our different line styles, and these are dependent on layers, so the color is per layer. And we can also have a grid put onto the drawing as well. And I can also change my units, so I can have this in millimeters, centimeters, meters. I can change my area units, so it's just as accurate as AutoCAD. I mean, my preference is always to have it in this more sort of presentation ready mode, because you can see the fills, you can see the thicknesses, so you're getting both, the best of both worlds. So you have the accuracy, but also you have that visual aspect as well. Number 2, a built-in block library that works for you. With traditional CAD tools, you're stuck hunting for blocks, importing files, and managing messy libraries. Rayon puts everything at your fingertips with a powerful in-app block system designed to save hours on every project. Access a shared cloud-based library with 10,000 plus ready-to-use blocks, instantly searchable and reusable. Use block families that include top, front, and side views for your plans, sections, and elevations. Use smart and fast parametric blocks. Create custom elements on demand with AI-powered block generation directly inside Rayon. Okay, jumping back into the model canvas, I'm going to talk to you about the blocks. So as I mentioned before, we have these blocks already within our template, but if we jump to the block library, so within our library, we have a variety of different folders. So this is Rayon's library, and it has things like bathroom elements, beds, bidets, coffee tables, you know, dining rooms, elevators, anything you would want, including symbols and title sheets. So let's just have a look at the basic blocks. And you can see here that if I wanted to bring in a sofa, I can literally click on that sofa and in it comes. Obviously this is a plan view. I can also click in here and say open. Now there will also be within the Rayon elements a front and side view. So if I'm doing my sections or elevations, I know that if I bring in this sofa in elevation and it can sit alongside my plan, these things align. It's the same style, it's the same sofa, it's the same size. So that's really, really powerful in being able to draw both of those things at the same time. Again, this can be edited. So we can go into this block, just like a sort of family. I can edit the style. I could add, you know, a color, for example. I can change the line styles and I can come out of that, and then that will be updated. So I could make all of my furniture in these elements exactly the same. You can see at the moment there's this sort of grey tone to them. The other thing I can do, if I brought in another element, you can see this little shape here is parametric. So let's bring that sofa back in. And one of the recent elements changes in Rayon is being able to adjust these parametrically. So this means that we can adjust the size of the sofa, but without stretching it. So this allows the sofa to be adjusted parametrically, so to fit your space more suitably, and that's perfect. So I'll show you this nightstand, for example. I can adjust the size of the table without stretching the lamp. So again, that can work really well. And again, I can get that in front, side and top views. So I can do the same thing for openings, so windows and doors. So let's take this door, for example. I'll just place it into the wall. And then you can see here, it has these little arrows. So I can change the reveal frame width of that door to fit the wall. I can also change its size. And you'll see that it's scaling rather than stretching. So again, that's really, really useful for, you know, suiting my instances to its own situation. So I could justify it, you know, on the internal face of the wall, it will snap to the inside line and go from there. And again, I can go into that. I could change the styles. So say, for example, I wanted a dash to this, and now that updates all of those instances of that door. And I can even save those block families to be used by other people within my office. So I can publish those. So I can go to share, I can have share libraries, I can publish my blocks, I can publish my styles. So anything I'm kind of setting up as a standard, I can publish those and they can be used by other members of my team. So the last thing I want to show you is the AI tool when it comes to blocks. So we can go to the AI chat. And I'm going to go to add files. So this is a screenshot of a credenza that I was looking at earlier that we could put within the living space. So I've got my file and I'm going to go to tools. And the AI tool allows you to do a number of preset things. So generate image, generate tracing, generate product, stylize, or create axonometric. So to generate a product, I can turn a product image or simple prompt into a CAD block. And that's exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to press that and then I'm going to press send. Rayon will be doing a number of things now. So you can see there, it's removing the background, generating object representation. It will be drawing the top, side and front views, and then it will be estimating its dimensions. So it will be doing all of those things just while I wait. And there we have it. So I've converted the image for a wooden cabinet into a 2D CAD block with technical top, front and side views, blocks ready to use in your CAD or architecture drawings. So you can see here, I can insert the block family, or I can import one of the views. So let's say I'm gonna insert here, and there we have it. So that credenza could sit underneath the TV, and if I was drawing a elevation of that as well, there I have the elevation. So very quickly and pretty seamlessly, I have a representation of that furniture, all from just downloading an image off the internet. And again, I can go into this family and I can change the line style. So I could have it as a lighter gray so it matches the rest. I could add a fill. So I could say that actually this wants to be, you know, a certain color. and then we go from there. Number 3, turn drawings into data with smart properties and tables. Creating spec sheets in traditional CAD means moving to Excel or Google Sheets and then manually counting and constantly updating. Rayon connects data directly into your drawings, so everything stays accurate and up to date automatically. Add custom properties to furniture, symbols, surfaces, and other elements. Generate smart tables in just a few clicks, always synced to your drawings. Build FF&E schedules, spec sheets, and material takeoffs faster with real-time cost visibility and fewer errors. Okay, now I want to talk to you about tables and properties. So this is our beach house template, and you can see here it has an existing and a proposed floor plan, a number of different elements, pieces of furniture, interestingly, an FF&E schedule. So I'm going to jump to our floor plans. Now, first of all, each of these elements contains information. We'll start with the furniture, for example. So say we're going to look into this chair. So this block instance has a number of properties. So it has a material, a price, whether it's been approved by the client, yes or no, and a brand. So say I want to add a property. So I want to click on one of these chairs, for example, go to add a property and something like color, for example. It's a text element, which is fine. You can see it appear down there. And I'm going to say this one is brown. Obviously, with all of these, I can go to here. I can add that property back here, which is now on my tick list. So those properties exist across those different blocks. And then if I go back to my table, you can see here, I need to add a column to my table. So you can see here in my drop down, it sees color. And you can see the ones which are relevant. So again, I can then go into, that's my brown one. I could say this one is blue. This one is green, for example. So that will then populate and sit as a column within our table. And then exactly the same thing, I can then insert that table with that new category included. And I can add that to any of these blocks. So I go to a different chair, and as long as I add that instance property and a tick, I can say that one is purple. And again, if I go to my table, you'll see that added there. So those are blocks. So each of these blocks can be inferred with those different properties. Properties can also relate to zones. So this zone, for example, which is the floor of the living dining space, it obviously has a fill. So, it has a visual appearance, so wood, but it also has these different properties as well. So we can add in a price per square meter, what the material is, the lead time, again, whether there's a brand, whether it's been approved by the client. And the really good thing is that because it's a zone, it will give us the area. So we have a price per square meter and we have an area, which obviously we can give a rate to. So rather than having to manually, calculate areas and rates, we can have Rayon do all of that for us, plot it all out in a table. So for example, if I change the area of this, so I can double click into here, I can change this element. That will change the area that will be updated in our table, or even I could change the rate. So I could say this is, 60 euros per square meter, and that will change it as well. So let's show you the table. So if we jump over to our left-hand side, we have tables over here. So we've got material takeoff, for example. Each of these different elements obviously has a name. So if we look, we've got public space, which is here. You can see that that's highlighted because I've clicked on it. We have our area, our brand, our material, lead time, price per square meter. So each of the areas within this drawing, which are a zone, so the access, we have its area, what it is, what material it is, lead time, price, each of those appear in our table. And then I can insert the table into my sheet. So you can see here, we have all of those elements and we know that they will be correct and up to date. And obviously I can put that into my drawing sheet, for example. And I can do exactly the same thing with the FF&E. So you can see here, we've got an FF&E table. We have even got a preview of what the thing looks like. So what the name of the element is, brand, price, client approved, what that block looks like. And you can see when I click on it, it gets highlighted here. And I could go in, I could change the price, and you can see that updated there. And exactly the same, I can insert that into my sheet. I can obviously scale it. I've got my previews there, and I can go in and I can change the properties of those elements. So I could increase, the size of the text, example, format that exactly how I want, and make sure it's all up to date and calculated for me. And here's one we made earlier. We've got our FF&E schedule, and then in our paper canvas, obviously I'm looking at a view of that from my model canvas, and that can sit on my sheet alongside some pertinent images of those pieces of furniture, of the look and feel mood board. Perfect. Number 4, collaborate with your team in real time. Traditional CAD workflows limit collaboration to one user at a time, leading to XRFs, sync issues, and constant version confusion. Rayon lets your entire team work together live in the browser, all on just one single source of truth model. See edits and updates instantly as they happen. Comment, annotate, and tag teammates directly in the drawings. Share your block libraries, style libraries, and templates to standardize documentation across your entire team. Okay, next I want to show you how to collaborate. So say this is my finished plan. If I want to send this to my boss or a colleague to review, I can share it within Rayon. So let's go to share, and I can put in their email address. So I'll just use it with my other studio email, for example. So I can click on here. I can press invite. Now I can invite as an editor, as a viewer, or an admin. So I'll set it as a viewer, and that will send an email to that address, and then I'll be able to access it from there. So I'll just jump into that. Okay, so I've now logged in with my other identity, and I will go to shared with me. So models, I can see here, and then I can see that beach house model here. I can open that, I can see it here, and I can comment on it. So for example, say I can measure, so I could measure an element within the model space here. I could check a dimension. I could check an area, for example, here. Obviously you want to be doing that in the model space, so it's to a 1-to-1 scale. Or I can jump to the paper canvas and I can add a comment and say something like, add storage cupboard to entryway. I could post that, or I can add a sketch and say, I want something here, for example. So that will be retained within Rayon on that left-hand side, and my other self, so my previous self, will be alerted to that. Okay, let's jump back into the other side, and you can see here I'm back in my original identity, and I want to jump down to comments. So you can see here, Chris Simmons 6 minutes ago, add storage cupboard to entryway. If I click on that, it will take me to the comments. So it's jumped from the model space to the paper space, and you can see there, I can see where it is, what it is. I can even see that sketch, and I can respond. So I can respond in text, so I can say, okay, that's fine, we'll amend. I can even add a reaction, so I could do an okay. And the really good thing is that's all logged, so these can't be lost. There's a sort of track of sort of back and forth, so everything is there all within Rayon. And the other great thing is that more than one person can be drawing at the same time. So I could be making those amendments here while somebody else is making a change to the rest of the document, which is really, really powerful. And number 5, Rayon's built-in AI, working directly on your drawings. Rayon is the only CAD tool with an integrated AI panel that enhances your drawings in real time, from generating axonometric views from sections to turning hand-drawn or scanned plans into clean vector drawings, and even creating custom blocks. This is what modern CAD looks like: faster, smarter, and finally built for the way designers work today. Okay, so now I want to look at the AI panel. So in my left-hand side, there is AI chat. So what I want to do is I want to show you the section. So this is a section through the beach house that we were looking at just now. Now, first of all, I'll just turn off the annotations and make the drawing nice and clean. So we'll jump back to our AI panel. And to add content, so to add the image, for example, I want to add a screenshot. So the screenshot will be looking at my model space, and I can crop a window from here. That then inputs it into the AI chat. Then I can go to tools and I can do a number of things. So as I mentioned before, we've got generate image, generate tracing, generate product, stylize, and generate axonometric. Now let's test out generate an axonometric. So we'll click that and then we'll press send. That would then be looking at our section and be generating an axo from that. And there we have it. So you can see that preview. I think that looks pretty good. So we can insert that very easily into our page. And you can see there, it's taken a look at our section, extrapolated that, understood the sort of depth, the furniture that's being shown. You know, you can see the person, you can see the umbrella. Yeah, I think that's pretty effective. So I can do a number of things with that. So I could click on there and I could do something like remove the background. There we go. So then I could overlay different elements and I don't have that background. Alternatively, I could do something like stylize it. So again, I could do edit with AI and I could do something like stylize, let's say clay, for example. So that will reference that image back into the chat, which you can see there. And I'm going to stylize that with a clay texture. There we go. Look at that. So again, I can insert that. You can see that it's kept the same, you know, exactly the same geometry. And now we have that sort of, you know, that typical clay texture to the model. So rather than having the 2D line work, it has a texture to it. Again, I could come in there, I could remove the background, let's say, and let's test one more idea. So I could bring in a material, for example. So I could go to add files. So rather than add screenshot, we'll do add files. And I've got this timber texture. I can add this back into the chat. So you right click and you say reference in chat. And I can say replace clay texture with timber texture. Let's see how that gets on. Look at that. Again, I can insert it. I think that looks pretty good. You know, I can even do things like make image slightly brighter. So it will adjust that as well. There we go. I can insert that. Again, I can remove the background. There we go. And so we have those three elements. And the really good thing is not changing the geometry. So we could explore the model in different ways. And all of that is just generated from a 2D section. All very quickly, all within the browser. Perfect. Rayon keeps everything designers value in CAD. Accuracy, structure, and control, whilst eliminating the friction that slows teams down. With Rayon, you can produce and share drawings and presentations faster without jumping between tools. Use AI and smart data to automate repetitive work and stay in control of project details. Design and collaborate in real time. If you've been looking for a sign to upgrade your workflow, this is it. Check the link in the description to create a free Rayon account and try it for yourself. Let us know in the comments what frustrates you most about AutoCAD. We'll show you exactly how Rayon solves it. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more tips on modern design workflows. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.